What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Crysis Remastered. It still exists. It's by the name of this Push Square article. But no, this is honestly extremely funny because, well, firstly, we've covered this in the past on this channel, on Podcast Now Plus, and just yesterday in the morning, I think at like 2, 3, 4 a.m., somewhere in that range, on Podcast Now, I literally did a video titled, what's going on with the Crysis Remaster. That's been so long since we've heard anything, and then we've heard literally absolutely, actually not nothing, we've heard nothing since then. And then probably I'd say like 4 hours after that happened, after I put the video up on Podcast Now, we got confirmation that Crysis Remastered, we're going to get a gameplay trailer this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and Push Square thinks that we'll also see a release date. I think that's very, very likely as well. I mean, this changes honestly everything up. It's funny how literally within a couple hours something can change. But no, this is really good. This is exactly what I was talking about in that video where, I believe it was like April 16th, April 19th, somewhere in that mid-April time. I think it was the 16th that we got the teaser trailer for Crysis Remastered. And, there was a lot of information thrown our way. People didn't know if it was a Crysis 4. People didn't know if it was a Crysis remake. People didn't know if it was a Crysis collection. Remember, and even myself, I thought that it was all three of the games. And in fact, even like once they announced it, I still thought it was all the games. But remember, it seems like it's going to be a full price game, a like $60 game, kind of in the Master Chief Collection kind of a scope where it's, or even Mafia Trilogy, you could probably even say it like that. That's the newest example where you're going to buy it, but it's only going to come with the first game at launch. And then through time, they'll put in 2, they'll put in 3, they may put in a multiplayer mode, right? So, and that all, that's been said a little bit. It hasn't been said, I think, in the greatest way. It's not very, they haven't been very specific about it. And again, there's been nothing since April 16th. So this is great. I mean, to have it on, I think July 1st is Wednesday, right? So to have it on the very first day of July, and again, this is what I was talking about in that video where it's, okay, well, what do you do with that release date? Because they said summer, and if you do summer, it's already a game that is announced, okay? So it's a game that's real, so you don't need it to be 3, 4, 5 months after you do this, right? So when I talk about like the Batman game, when I talk about Harry Potter, all that stuff, one of the things I say is, okay, you got to give them at least probably like 3 to 4 months at the minimum, at the absolute minimum. And it's mainly because it's going from a game that is literally unannounced to a game that is announced. And so when you do that and you give a release date at the same time, you have to give people a fair amount of time to pre-order it, to get ready for it, to have the marketing push for it. But games that are already known, they can kind of change things up. Even like The Last of Us Part 2, right? That game was delayed a couple times, and then it was delayed indefinitely, and then they gave the release date, but they gave it like a month and a half before the game released, right? So they didn't give all that much time. And again, I mean, that goes for a lot of different games. Once the game is known, once the game is out there in like the public's mind, which Crysis is, it's just that a lot of people have forgotten about it, again, including like myself before people reminded me in the live stream. It is a game that is out there, so when you bring it back, when you announce it again, you can say, hey, this game comes out a week, or not, I wish it was a week, right? Like a month and a half, 2 months later. I think that is probably the sweet spot. Remember, even in yesterday's Podcast Now video, I said, hey, if you did it like right now, and in fact, that's actually what they're doing. If you did it right now, you could probably still get this thing out by the end of August. Now, actually, the end of August like 28th, there's actually there's that Windbound game, that beautiful, looks like a rhyme and like Journey kind of game. Looks amazing. I'm going to get it. It's a smaller like indie kind of game. Mafia 1's remake comes out, I believe, August 28th. So actually, the end of August is extremely, extremely busy. I would wonder if Crysis would be even like on the same day, or even like in September, early September. Early September, we do have Marvel's Avengers, but then we really, as far as right now, what we have confirmed, we really have nothing else. There's nothing else until October, when we're probably going to get starting like the next gen kind of push with Assassin's Creed, and obviously it doesn't come out on next gen right away, but we're going to have a lot of different things, right? So I think if this game has been pushed a little bit, it is possible that it comes out end of August, early September. That would kind of be my prediction, but I don't see how you go throughout, Wednesday, you have this gameplay thing, and then you don't give the release date at the end of it. But again, even with that, I would like the more information. I want to see some sort of blog or post or something by Crytek afterwards, maybe on Twitter. They say, hey, we have some things we want to talk about on this new game, and maybe they give us a little bit of just what's going on. It's going to come with Crysis 1. You are going to have to pay $60 for it, but you're not just buying Crysis 1. You're going to get the other games, and we're planning an early 2021 for Crysis 2, and then a late 2021 for Crysis 3, something like that. I hope we get some more information like that. I think it's important you do that because again, you have to kind of sell it. You have to sell it because I'm willing to buy it. In fact, I will buy this remaster, but to pay $60 for a Crysis 1 remaster, I'm not the biggest. I'm not I'm not wearing like a Crysis t-shirt right now. I'm not going down the streets in my Crysis merch, right? I'm not that big of a Crysis fan. And again, there's a lot of other games. Money doesn't grow on trees. Lots of other reasons. But if you sell me on, hey, you're buying it for Crysis 1, but you're going to be able to get all three of them. Or maybe they do exactly like Mafia where, hey, you can buy the full thing, or you can just buy Crysis 1 separately, but it's going to be like $40. All of them will be like $40. So really, you're going to lose a lot of money if you buy them all separate. You know what I mean? I think, the Mafia trilogy, while it's not a great product, I think, and the way they've handled it hasn't been all that great. I think it's an interesting model and example that you can look at and say, well, can these developers pick this kind of thing? Can these developers pick that? I think that's something that we're going to be seeing a lot of over the next couple years, but very exciting. Was not expecting this, especially after I literally just put up that video, but I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm going to be watching it. We'll have a video probably on podcast now talking about the release date, talking about anything else that they announced. Again, I don't think they would do it in a trailer, but if they do like a blog thing afterwards, we'll talk about that, and we'll go from there. We'll have videos on Crysis when it comes out, the future Crysis games when they come out. Very, very exciting. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going to be shown tomorrow? What kind, maybe how long do you think this gameplay is going to be? Do you think they give the release date? When do you think the release date will be? All those questions, let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you guys so much for watching. I do a new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video.